So welcome to the Switching Off at Night seminar. My name's Karyn Chalk and I'm a brain health trainer based in Dunedin, New Zealand. And I'm really passionate about supporting people to live happy, healthy, and productive lives. And I'm really passionate about having conversations about brain health and sleep deprivation because of the far-reaching impacts that fatigue, burnout, and sleep deprivation have on individuals, families, workplaces, and communities. And my interest in sleep was a personal journey and still is actually. So in 2017, I experienced quite severe burnout. So barbed wire headaches that just were running down the side of my face and around my head. Had this real sense of being hypervigilant, anxious, panicky, and a real sense of just having nothing left in the tank for myself or my family. I'd wake in the night with a fright. I had nightmares on a regular basis. And even though I was really exhausted, it was just next to impossible just to get a full and restful sleep. So at that time in 2017, I stopped my business and I left my job that I'd been in doing rehabilitation for 7 years. And what was interesting was 18 months later, I re-entered the workforce and I was well rested and, really felt ready to get back into doing some other things again. And what surprised me and shocked me and completely left fielded me was the speed at which the headaches, the anxiety, the sense of panic, and the hypervigilance and sleep issues just came straight back in as if they never left. And so even though I'd worked in rehabilitation and had a really solid wellbeing knowledge and considered myself to have good self-care routines, my toolkit was not fit for purpose at that time. And I needed to learn how to calm down and heal the part of my brain that was raising these state highway panic alarms. So as well as being neuroscience-based and research-based in relation to these strategies I'll be showing you, they've well and truly been tried and tested by myself. And they've had a 360-degree life-changing result. Not only do I sleep better, they've significantly improved my mental health, my happiness, and my relationships as well. So our switching off at night journey. We're going to have a look at why sleep is so important. I'll introduce the red zone and green zone operating systems. We'll have an introduction and a practice at how havening techniques can help calm your brain down, especially after a busy day. I'll also introduce neuroplasticity to help build inner strength and ease overwhelm. And then finish off with a 3-step sleep strategy to help switch off at night. And so the real focus on this seminar is building inner strengths for calming down at night when difficult times may be occurring or personal vulnerabilities may be triggered. A full and restful sleep is a really key component to having a solid, resilient landscape. It's like how trees naturally form in a forest, providing levels of shelter. So if there's a gale force winds, there's a real buffer around us. Or if torrential rain occurs, there's a really thick layer of mulch that will help soak up the rain. So when it comes to health, happiness, and well-being, alongside resilience as well, all roads lead to the brain. And that's because our brain is an electrical highway. And one of the most important ways that we can nourish and strengthen these highways is through sleep. And lack of sleep is a major factor in the overall health and functioning of your brain. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Daniel Amen. He's a world leader in brain health. and I'm one of his brain health accredited trainers. And over the last 20 years, his Amen clinics have completed over 250 SPECT brain scans, which measure blood flow and activity in the brain. And so this picture that we've got on screen is a blood flow and activity scan of someone who is getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night. And sleep deprivation has been associated with lower overall activity and blood flow to your brain, which is where those grey shapes we can see in the picture on the right. And so this hurts our mood, our focus, and our memory for days afterwards. And this makes sense because during sleep, the brain removes toxins that were accumulated throughout the day. The brain cleans, washes, and puts out the neural trash, allowing for rest, digest, and restoration. Dr. Amen suggests that you think of sleep deprivation's effects on your brain as if your home office might look like if the rubbish wasn't taken out for a month. And so one of the main things that Dr. Amen says in all of his talks and all of his books is if you get the health of your brain right, then everything else will fall into place. So in relation to evolution, our brain has evolved over millions and billions of years in stages like building a house. And so it first started with the bottom orange bit, the brainstem, the reptilian stage. And it's really old and overlooks survival functions such as breathing. And the top priority of this part of the brain is to avoid harm. So it's very safety focused. So one of the questions is, hey, is this situation a stick that I need to avoid? And in the middle is the subcortex, which is the mammalian stage of evolution. And it's also very old as well. And so emotion, motivation, and bonding are part of this area of the brain around the reward systems. It also, in that part of the brain is the amygdala, which is one of the most powerful parts of the brain. And the three main concerns of the amygdala is to scan for threats, to any form of threat detected for am I safe, can I succeed, and am I loved? The top one, the blue, is the cortex or the primate and human part of the brain. And it's a newer part of evolution, evolved in primates and humans. And that oversees abstract reasoning, reflecting social abilities. And it's really focused on connection needs. Is it a friendly species that I can get close to? And so from bats, lizards, monkeys, mice, all the way back to worms and bacteria, it's literally like we've got our own wee museum or zoo in each and every one of us as we're navigating through our life each day. The way we evolve means that we've got a brain designed to learn, change, evolve, soothe, and heal. And our brain evolution occurred primarily to meet our three core needs: safety, satisfaction, and connection. And survival trumped everything when it comes to evolution. Back in the day, there was no time to sit in the lotus position, contemplate cloud shapes in the sky, because if you did, you'd be an easy lunch. And because of this, our brain designed an instant readiness to go to the negative. It's much safer to think that there's a tiger around the corner when there isn't, than to think there isn't and there actually was. So our amygdala, that most powerful part of our brain, has three core survival needs. that it scans for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Am I basically okay in this moment? We need to feel safe. So physical and emotional safety is an inbuilt survival mechanism inside of us. Am I basically satisfied in the core of my being? We need to feel satisfied, feeling like we can actually achieve some goals, having food to eat, experiencing certain kinds of pleasure. And do I have a basic sense of belonging in the core of my being? We need to feel connected, to belong to a herd. Some caring flowing in, some caring flowing out. And the level at which these needs are met will determine whether the brain switches to the red zone or the green zone. So these are our two main operating systems, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. Dr. Rick Hanson, he's a world leader in resilience and author of Hardwiring Happiness. He describes these reactions of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm as being in the red zone. And so there's the amygdala has detected a survival threat of maybe rejection, loss, or threat to our survival. And when this happens, stress hormones are activated, the heart beats faster, thoughts speed up, we get stressed and rattled, the alarm bells ring more easily and loudly, and this increases our vulnerability. And it's really hard to sleep when we're in the red zone, because it's pretty much like the amygdala is going, whoa, right now in this room, in that moment, there's a real live tiger. We're not sleeping right now. The red zone feels bad for us because it really is bad for us. Body resources are burned up faster than they're developed. Systems are disturbed. And long-term projects like strengthening the immune system, digesting food, reproductive hormones being supported, they just all get pushed to the wayside. And each time this happens, it takes around 12 to 36 hours to metabolize these stress hormones out of your body, which is why you feel so tired, so drained, and depressed and anxious with chronic stress. The green zone, our home base. When the three core needs of safety, satisfaction, and connection are met in the mind, the body switches to rest, digest, and repair. The green zone is the homeostatic resting state of the brain. There's a background sense that we're all right in this moment as we're managing our needs. And when we're in the green zone, mammals, including us as humans, become curious, playful, and friendly. We can meet challenges as well, be strong and determined in the green zone. We're less likely to provoke others, and we're less likely to be provoked, which means that we can switch off at the end of the day. The natural rhythm for animals and for early humans is to spend long periods of time hanging out, taking care of our needs, green, 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 green zone. Brief moments of red zone stress that ends quickly, and then back to green, green, green zone. That is our biological blueprint. Mother Nature's plan to ensure our survival, minimize episodes of the red zone, recover from the red zone episodes quickly when they do happen, and grow inner resources that fill up our buckets of safety, satisfaction, and connection so that when challenges hit us, we can respond to them from a green zone place. So in relation to getting your core needs met, Dr. Rick Hanson puts it this way. For our safety needs, we need to pet the lizard, helping calm down the brainstem. For our satisfaction needs, we need to feed the mouse, help regulate the limbic system. And for our connection needs, we need to hug the monkey, help strengthen the cortex. And so this seminar is giving you tools and strategies specifically to calm down your brain quickly and effectively, getting out of the red zone and back into the green zone quickly, as well as some strategies for filling up those tanks of safety, satisfaction, and connection so that this supports you getting your core needs met, staying in the green zone longer, so that you are able to more often and more readily have a deep and restful sleep.